Real estate, you know, the boss chick. Now, you're in Ghana.
Yes.
And, you know, the questions were many. You know, I had a lot of questions. And the first thing I'm asking myself is, you're so successful in the US. Mm-hmm. You're doing so great, yourself and your husband. Mm-hmm. Why Ghana? In fact, why Africa?
So we're coming here last year was very important because, again, what we've seen on TV, what we've been told, what we've been taught is that Africa as a whole is not a place that we should be, or we can't be prosperous, or it'd be hard to integrate yourself into the culture. And so when we came last year, it debunked everything. And I love the challenges that actually Ghana is going through in the real estate industry, because to me, it allows me, I say, well, if I can integrate myself into the culture, a lot of what I've learned in the US that I know does work could be implemented here and taking Ghana to another level. You know, making sure that I did our due diligence looking at the right developers to connect with. You know, we had a great tour guide. I want to shout her out, Dawn Dickinson. That's who was our tour guide last year. So she did an amazing job to make sure that not only did we see all the cultural and the community, the commerce, just all of that with Ghana, but also the real estate side of it. And so for me, my eyes just got wide. I was like, man, they're doing this over here, and all the different regions that are being built out. It's no different than the U.S. It's, you know, gentrification, you know, just trying to make sure that you bring something back to the culture and the community, but also keeping it for the community. I love being able to see how Ghanaians are living over here. Again, there's a lot of prosperity here. There's a lot of opportunities here. And so my husband and I are in, as I mentioned to you earlier when we were talking about marriage, you know, we're in a certain season of our marriage right now, which is season 3 for us. So we're pretty much empty nesters. We've got a 32-year-old, a 23-year-old, and a 19-year-old. I just shocked you, huh? I saw that face. You're like, wait a minute now. Yes.
Wow.
So with everybody, you know, transitioning out of the house, now my husband and I are looking at each other and we're like, so who are you again? And what do you like? And, you know, are we still connected in that way? And then now what do we want to do? We don't have to worry about the kids per se. We don't necessarily have to worry about, you know, we work our businesses, of course, but we're not working for somebody else. So we're not handcuffed to, you know, a 9 to 5, so to speak. So it's like, what do we do? And it was like, we need to start planning for our retirement. And I don't want our retirement to be when it's 80 and body isn't functioning right, mind isn't functioning right, and then that's now our retirement. How do we do our retirement in our 50s? And what does that look like? Okay, where do we want to be? And so coming out here last year just really opened our eyes up to, you know, from a safety standpoint, from, again, a cultural standpoint. And then again, we want to also make sure we bring our children back. We want them to be able to see what's possible over here and just show them a different life. So for us right now, Ghana is it.
Well, that's lovely to hear.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear. But, you know, you've built a portfolio of clientele, of businesses in the US. You have people who invest in your projects. How is it going to feel like saying that, look, I want to live on another continent?
Well, I think at the end of the day, depending on how we have everything set up structurally, I feel it's no different than I feel like we can make money over here in Ghana, but we don't have to live here 365 days. So if we split, you know, do dual citizenship, that we're looking at that option as well, 6 months in the U.S. when it's our prime peak season, and then 6 months over here. So, you know, at this point, I think anything's possible. And I think that, you know, coming over here is, now we're not doing it right away. Let me make that very clear. So on camera, any of my people, you know, watching, we're not leaving right away because our daughter just finished her first year of college and also went off and did basic training in the military. So we're not leaving soon. But what we are doing is making the plans and the preparation and doing it the right way. Because we have heard certain stories of, Americans coming over and, again, thinking that they can just jump right in to a whole new area, again, new culture, new language, new, backgrounds, those types of things. And then they don't make it. And then 6 months, and then their experience becomes, oh, I hated it. Well, no, you might not have done the right things and taken the right steps in order to integrate yourself the right way. And so that's what we're doing now. Coming last year was we kind of still had the rose-colored glasses on. And this time around, we were able to take the rose-colored glass. So now we're looking at locations from where would we want to stay. Whereas we didn't know that previously.
Yeah.
And then helping the investors that we have over here with us, helping them now look at Ghana in a different light.
So what are some of the opportunities you have seen in Ghana that makes you think that, okay, this is where I want to spend, let's say 5 years of my time, looking at the system and trying to make sure that we can maximize the opportunities there. What are some of the opportunities you've seen from the US being here?
So one, I think even just from an entrepreneurship standpoint, what I was amazed by when we came last time is driving down the road and seeing that mothers and fathers had their young children out selling products, creating saleswomen at an age of like 5, 6 years old, and them not really realizing the tools and the resources that they're already pouring into their kids and showing them, again, a different way. Now, this also is part of life here. We get that. But I want to be able to bring some resources back to now be able to take that entrepreneurial spirit, that entrepreneurial opportunity, and how can I help them capitalize on it? So is that systems in place? Is that knowing how to use certain type of applications or computer software, or writing a business plan, how to be able to get funding for your business, learning how to, I call it the 3 S's, start, scale, and sell. So how to start this business, how do we scale the business, and then how do you want to position your business as far as a legacy is concerned? Maybe our kids may not take over our businesses. So, and that's fine, but now we're putting the businesses in a place where if we needed to sell it, there's a number attached to it. So I think coming over here, there's a lot of opportunity for resources and tools to teach a true entrepreneurial type of mindset, which obviously would help the economy, right? It's going to also employ people. So that's one of the biggest things. And then real estate as a whole, I'm really looking at trying to figure out how to get integrated into the real estate market here, because there's a lot of things, like I said, in the U.S. that we do correctly when it comes to real estate transactions and vetting properties and, and the funding side of it. So I think Ghana could benefit from that as well.
Amazing.